Indeed, greetings unto you, my beloved and holy friends. Thank you so much for joining me again on another video. I really do appreciate your presence. If you enjoy what it is I'm doing here, do consider liking the video, consider subscribing, and do leave a comment. I try and answer every single one of them. Let's go live. It's a cloudy day. It's been pretty humid as a result of that. A little bit hot, but nonetheless so very beautiful. As I'm waiting for this thing to tune live, I'm gonna pour myself a glass of water, and then I'm going to say some things worth saying. And I feel today's lesson really is resonating with me. It's a little bit of an aha moment again, if you will. Something I'm trying to become aware of. And I have a little secret here in my pocket as well. It's this little piece of crystal. It's a gorgeous piece. I don't know if you can see that. I hope so. Has like this blue tint, and then I think it's tourmaline on the outside of it as well. Profound. Okay. So no more beating around the bush. Something worth saying. And this is a long one, so do bear with me. We live in a world where we get used to things being conditional, right? A condition needs to be met before the body stops being hungry or cold, for example. So if you're cold or if you're hungry, like that is going to be something that is 100% conditional. You're going to have to get something to eat or get to a place that is warm enough for you to heat up so that you have this condition met, so that you have this need of yours taken care of. And the thing that we kind of extrapolate because of that, and the thing is as well, that is a very almost like base nature. That is basically like the thing we need originally, like our id is getting satisfied by having these things. But we're so much more than just our base natures. We're so much more than just our base needs as well. So yeah, and then it goes on to say, we start to believe as a result that conditions need to be met before there can be a choice for peace instead of war, forgiveness instead of judgment, or a choice for love instead of fear. Therefore, we think the conditions outside of us need to change. Therefore, we think when the conditions outside of us change, then we'll make the choice for love. Right? We can harness the power of choice to love from our depth right now. And it's something that is really like thoroughly resonating with me, because I feel this is something that I've definitely noticed in my own life. How we have this tendency to like tell ourselves, okay, if like these conditions are met, like if I have this, if I have my own house, if I have my own car, if I have like a room that is decorated in this way, and I have this many like little shiny objects in my apartment, be it crystals. Like this is actually something I was thinking about today. I would love to have big mounds of crystals in my house one day. And I was just thinking like how I was imagining these things, and they were bringing me happiness. That they were bringing me happiness right now in this moment. Like even though I did not actually physically have these things, and it was just purely imaginational, I realized that it is something that I have right now, and it's not something that I have to go somewhere to have that experience of having it, and having the experience of enjoying the actual act of having it as well. And what amazes me about that whole dynamic is how we apply conditions to so many things, and we tell ourselves that we're going to do the thing, we're going to have that feeling, be happy, pursue our inner enlightenment, do whatever it is we have to do, we do whatever it is we know we need to do, but we keep having conditions for when it is we're actually going to do it. We don't have this clear set, I'm going to be doing it this way, and I'm going to be trying to enjoy the process of actually getting to where it is I'm going. Instead, we keep like putting these goals, and it's like a dopamine system thing as well. It's basically how our brains are programmed to think, to process information, so that we continue striving to get better and better. And I understand that it's definitely something that's necessary, but it's not what it's all about. It's not what we're supposed to get completely obsessed with and completely get enthralled with. Because if we're going to rely only on our dopamine systems and only on a system to give us information that is like, you know, future based, like, okay, do these things and you'll get like, you know, feel good hormone. And then you get feel good hormone, dopamine, and then it's like, okay, now you need to do all of these things so you can get another dose of that. And it's this constant rat race. You're resetting goals a little bit further away so that you can walk that path that you're supposed to be walking, so that you can get to the place where you want to go. And that place where you want to go, it's actually right here. It's right where you are right now. And upon realizing that, upon realizing all of that conditional love, and I'm saying conditional love, that we usually have for ourselves. Okay, I'll love myself if I earn this much money a month. I'll love myself when I have a girlfriend. I'll love myself when I lost X amount of weight. I'll love myself, condition. And I feel it's more important than ever to really realize that we're supposed to be practicing unconditional love on ourselves first. Really, really, really unconditional love. And I'm gonna take a second to take a sip of water. I'm already getting a little bit slimy, I guess, with the change of the seasons. There's so much pollen in the air and I get bad hay fever. Good morning, Brother Bear. I'm here today. I'm happy I don't work today. I love you all here from Montana. Hey, Ryan. I read your message, my friend, and I've been thinking about it as well. You reaching out, especially since the account has been like inactive for like 4 years, and then you send that message and you get something back. And it's a very clear indication to me that what you're doing is something that's good as well. Like, you're reaching out, Ryan, and I feel like sometimes the universe definitely does test us to see if we're actually willing to show this love unconditionally. Because like, if you don't have unconditional love for yourself, it's very difficult to understand unconditional love for others. And it's become absolutely profound in my life. Like, I actually did a lot of work today. I wrote like, how many pages is it? Like a solid 8 pages of information, and all of it is so good. And all of it I want to actually incorporate into my life, incorporate into the way that I live my life. And I feel so strongly about all of these lessons. I think this is a good one as well that I want to share. You are free in this moment. You are as free as you'll ever be right here in this moment. Because that is something that I've been struggling a lot with in my life as well, actually. Is this feeling of not being free, being limited in my expression, being, you know, capped in some way, in some sort of level, in some sort of expression. Because we have this tendency and we have this intuition and this drive to better ourselves, to save the world. And yet we still kind of stop ourselves because we create these little prisons for ourselves. We're like, oh no, I'm living in this and this city, I'm living with these and these people, I have this and this job, I look this and this way, I feel so and so, and that's why, oh, I think it's starting to rain, and that's why I have the experience that I have right now. And I feel really taking responsibility for all of our circumstances, for everything is completely and perfectly self-created. It has given me so much more clarity and a little bit more calm as well, just in knowing everything is going to be okay, you know. Like, I feel every one of us can actually, you know, stand to hear that everything is going to be okay, and we'll be fine, my friends. We'll be healthy, we'll be safe. Hey, Edmund, happy Monday to you as well, my friend. My allergies are horrible lately too. It's okay, dude. I actually drank a little anti-allergic pill, antihistamines or whatever, just before the stream. So, oh, I took a sip of water without setting an intention. Oopsie. Let me do that now, actually. I think unconditional love absolutely is my intention today. This water is going to unconditionally allow me to love myself and every single cell of my being. It's something I've been thinking about a lot lately. So unconditional love. Tastes really good. How we have these trillions of cells in our bodies, right? Let's single out one of them. Let's single out the red blood cell. So a red blood cell is almost like a donut if it didn't have a hole, but it still has a little bit of like an indentation for it to actually catch oxygen molecules. So it gets circulated through our body with the beating of our heart. And as it gets circulated, it goes from our lungs, gets oxygenated, and then it takes that oxygen and distributes it through our bodies, right? And it's working. It's like the most basic, it's like a delivery person, if you will. And yet, if it wasn't for this delivery person in your body, you die. You stop being. And it is, at least to me, is an analogy or an example of the whole as well. How even the little bugs that bother us, the mosquitoes that keep us awake at night, the rain that sometimes destroys things, all of it is perfectly necessary to be exactly the way that it is, so that things continue to function the way that it is. And I feel like all of these systems, including the little red blood cell itself, is in some way like conscious of its experience, and it's conscious of what it's doing. It knows that it is a red blood cell and it is taking oxygen throughout my body to oxygenate me. And that is its job, and that is what it does with justice and with persistence. And if it doesn't do that, it means the cell is dying or dead, and then it gets cannibalized, it gets eaten or used or retransformed and changed into something new. And because these individual little cells have these individual little conscious experiences, at least in my personal opinion, they create the very conscious experience that it is we're experiencing right now. To be able to breathe and to hear and to smell and to see and to just speak something as well, and just to like feel our own hands rubbing against each other. Like the reason there's sound coming off of our hands is because we have these micro grooves, not that micro, but we have grooves in our hands that catch on each other, and these grooves gives us grip. And if we spend too much time in the water, these grooves almost like double up. They groove like that and they groove like this. So you have double the grip. And it again is these like little conscious things. Like our skin knows that it's wet, and it probably needs to form some sort of grip, so that if we're like, for instance, like we fell into ice or something like that, we can actually, get ourselves out of that ice water. And like, you're not actively and consciously putting grooves into your fingers, right? That's not something that you're doing yourself or personally, and yet it happens. Same thing with your heart, just continually beating. And like it's something that actually trips me out about breath as well. Unconditional love. How breathing is also one of those things that kind of happen automatically. Something that we're constantly doing, and we don't technically have to put any conscious effort into it. And yet we can almost take control of that, and we can take conscious effort of our own personal breathing. And by doing that, we give ourselves just another sense of power, I feel. It's the whole taking control. Not trying to control the whole or all of the circumstances that might befall your life, but actually trying to take control of yourself. And I've been trying to do more and more of that, actually. So even though we can't, directly just think like we can think about our breathing, think about our DNA and start changing things about it. But as of late, I've been trying to imagine my DNA like swapping little letters to create better genomes. And it makes intuitive sense to my brain, and the visualizations I have of it is probably completely horribly off. And yet I feel, even though it might be complete pseudoscience or not real at all, it definitely helps me become a little bit closer with myself and with these conscious systems that I have within myself. Just like our hair growing, like this is constant carbon technically being extruded out of our scalps. And then it has like different chemicals that gives it color. And if you go gray, then that's technically just the lack of color, not a color in itself. So all of our hairs are gray, but then it gets a pigment applied over it. And it fascinates me. Just the very oxygen I'm breathing a chemical. And then my body is like running blood through these little balloon sacs, and then those little balloon sacs exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide with this like blood barrier, giving me the opportunity to actually breathe air. And then in turn, I'm like, you know what, this breathing of air is nice and all, but I'm also going to use it to make sounds with my face. And then these sounds that I make with my face can travel all across the world, like it is right now. The very face that is expressing them as well can travel all across the world and touch lives and be touched by lives. And it's fascinating. Oh, it's really blowing some wind right now. I'm getting some debris. I might be full of little pieces of leaves. So the tree that is right there has these very small little fine leaves, and they're really prone to blowing off, especially since it's like moving into winter. Let me read some comments. I was really rambling at the start. I tell you what, taking an hour to go and drink a cup of coffee and talk with my 90-year-old great grandmother this morning was wonderful. That sounds wonderful, my friend. I'm so happy that you did that. My grandma is here at the moment as well, and I've been having chats with her, but she's very prone to getting angry about things. So she filled water bottles, and I was trying to show her the fact that I had little crystals in my water bottle, and then she just kind of like went off and like was very, very upset about me accusing her of putting rocks in the water bottle. And I was like, no, Grandma, I didn't say anything. I was just showing you that there's rocks in the water bottle. And it showed me that you can literally have any perception that you want. And the perception that you want is going to be presented to you. If you want to be offended or angry or defensive about something, then things are going to come up in your life that's going to allow you to be angry or defensive or upset about something. What we decree is, my friends. Hey, good morning, Tramp. Welcome, my friend. I just want to say I'm very proud to be able to open up to you and all allow me to love myself. I'm also happy that you're opening up, Ryan. I'm very proud of you as well, my friend. I'm happy for you, Wiggle, sending love to your Gam from Montana. Thank you, Ryan. Good morning, Tramp again. Did I miss anyone? Hi, sir. Hey, Lengthfather. I'm not sure if you're still here, my friend, but welcome. Do you hear the thunder? It seems that we're going to get some rain again tonight. Hey, Eva. Hey, Eva. Kom eens zo. She wants to get inside. Like when the weather gets like this, she wants to go and like climb under blankets. Yeah, there she goes. Oh, I love that dog so much. Good morning, friends. Hi, Mel. Hello, Justin. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. The last time I saw her, it was a month ago. I had dinner with her and got a call that I lost my other grandmother. It made me realize that we need to take advantage of our moment despite the craziness of life. Stop, listen, and love. I'm so sorry to hear that, my friend. But thank you so much for sharing the lesson that you've learned from that as well. It's very true. It's very, very true. And loss is something that is so tragic and so inevitable in our lives as well. And that, I think that is actually the primary reason we have such a hard time dealing with loss effectively or sufficiently or appropriately, I think is another good word as well. Like, we don't spend time with our dead anymore either. We don't give ourselves a chance to really look at the face of death and come to terms that that is something that's very real and a part of our lives as well. And you know, there is death so that there may be life. We have to be able to die so that we may live. And eventually, our egos, all of our egos will die. This temporary learning device will stop serving its function, and your eternal and immortal soul, and in turn your grandma's eternal and immortal soul, hasn't perished, only been transformed or changed or transcended or moved on, whatever you want to call it, my friend. And it's beautiful. Put on that braai booty. No braais today, dude. We're having some lasagna. I'm actually eating carbs again today. Yeah, my grandma makes these things called cook sisters, and cook sisters are, if you really want to like simplify it, you can imagine like a type of pie bread, or pie dough I should say rather, and you make it really thin. You can also kind of see this type of pasta as well, and then you deep fry them, and then they puff up, and then you soak them in like a sugar type of solution, and they soak up that sugar, so they're crunchy on the outside, and then they have this like sugary, like gooey inside, and it's dangerously good. It's like sinful how good it is. But yeah, my grandma doesn't come, over a lot, and she definitely doesn't make cook sisters all the time. So taking advantage while we can. Wingle, you're right. We only have right now. Tomorrow never comes, and yesterday is over. So always live mindfully in the present moment. Yep, exactly, Ryan. Yeah, the rain is really coming down. Just a few kilometers away from here. Hopefully we get some rain as well. Hopefully we get rain and no wind. Like that is my only gripe. Woo! It'll be okay. It'll be okay. Everything will be okay. Relax, man. It's just a simulation. It might be, my friend. And that wouldn't really change anything either, would it? Put down the phones and be present when we are present. I agree as well, my friend. And you don't have to... Nothing has to change for you to be present. Because we're always present, right? We just have to become aware of that. Consciously aware of that. And to actually live into that experience instead of allowing ourselves to become unaware. Because it's very easy to fall into the trap of being unaware. It's actually the default state, I believe, sometimes as well. Do you think that's air you're breathing? It probably is, my friend. Hey, Lazy Beat, welcome, my friend. Be cool, Melt family, I'm out. See you a little bit later, Wingle. It was nice to have you here, my friend. Crystals in water? Yeah. I don't think they're... technically they're crystals. They're these pieces of quartz that I found laying around on our farm. I have others, like the one I have right here. But I don't put any of these in my streaming water, is what I call it, I guess. I want to add the little pieces of rock that I found on the farm to this water, because I feel like it symbolizes, at least in my opinion, me being a little bit closer with the very area that I'm living in, to drink the water that comes from this place, and to add little pieces of this place to the very water that I'm drinking. It's intentional. It's very intentional, and I feel it just makes me aware. If it does anything, it makes me more aware of the water that I'm drinking and where it comes from. So true, Wingle. My father has rushed to the hospital Friday night. I feel so helpless living 8 hours away, making me think hard about if I should move closer to them since my parents are aging. I'm so sorry to hear that, my friend. I'm very sorry to hear that. I do understand how that hopeless feeling feels. Like, it's like you can't do anything. And it's a very difficult decision to ask yourself as well, if you should move closer to them. And if you feel compelled to, then the answer is absolutely yes. But you should respect yourself. And I think you should like take some serious time to sit down and ask yourself that question. Maybe meditate and keep that thought in your head. Ask yourself before you meditate this question: should I move closer to my parents to spend more time with them? And then you meditate and you sit with that question and you let it mull in your head over and over again. And usually your intuition will give you an answer based on that. This is going to be a great week, brother. My girlfriend has decided to begin a new journey to self-love and positivity. I'm so excited. I'm so excited as well, Edmund. That sounds absolutely blissful and amazing, my friend. I'm very happy for you and your girlfriend. Know that she is supported in her journey, and I hope that you tell her. Yay for carbs. Yeah, they are good, dude. They are very good. But they make me feel a little bit drowsy, dude. A little bit drowsy. But I've been feeling, so like let me give you a little bit of a rundown how I've been feeling mentally. I felt like my body has had like a little bit of a like an energy sap, but my mind is very clear about what it is it wants to do. So like I have a little bit of this disconnect where my body doesn't want to quite get on board with everything that is my mind wants to do. And it feels like there's a little bit of latency, if that makes any sense. Like I feel like my mind is running too fast for my body to keep up. And this morning especially I was feeling like that, where I just kind of had like a chill dance session. I'm happy that I found Dub Dogs. He has a little bit more of a mellow beat rate. And it was really nice dancing to that. And just calming down, easing into it, being really relaxed. Yeah. So I'm trying to muster. And like the thing is as well, I was kind of thinking that the reason my body is kind of like lacking in energy is because I had limited carbohydrate stores within my muscles. And that is technically the case as well. I've been losing a lot of weight. So I think it might just be that. Might just be because I'm losing so much weight, my body is a little bit tired. And I need to eat more. I don't really have as much of a appetite as of late, I guess. Which, you know, it has its benefits. Sometimes you lose weight when you don't have an appetite, but that's not all you want to be doing to yourself. Man, that unconditional love tastes good. Thank you, Justin. We've been through a lot together to get to this point, and she's finally ready for a lifestyle change. And I can't wait to watch her grow in spirituality and such. Man, Edmund, that makes me so happy. Like, it feels like you almost had like a breakthrough type of moment with her. If you don't mind, do you mind sharing a little bit of what happened, or how this, you know, circumstance led to being? Maybe it could be a little bit of encouragement or a boost to one of our friends in the chat, and they might actually benefit from it as well. Sending you guys positivity. Thank you, Justin, for sending positivity. Sending positivity right back to you as well. Fantastic. I'm so proud of you, Ed. Thank you, Ryan. Much love to you, my brother. Makes me so happy. You've got a pretty smile. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, smiling. Smiling is a very interesting thing as well, because they've done studies that prove that even just smiling for the sake of smiling, just to like force yourself to exercise those muscles, releases feel-good hormones in your brain. I think it releases serotonin and a little bit of endorphins every time you smile. So just by forcing yourself to smile, and like you could force yourself to laugh as well, but I feel the forced laughter one feels a little bit almost strange to me. I have a very hard time forcing, not a hard time forcing myself to laugh, but I feel some way about forcing myself to laugh. But smiling, on the other hand, I feel smiling definitely has a little bit more of a benefit to me personally. Yeah, try it, my friends. Try smiling. Try and smile as bright as you can, and see how it makes you feel. Do a headstand. I don't know how to do a headstand, my friend. I don't think that is something that I'm equipped with at the moment because I haven't practiced. I'll probably have to like start with a wall and get good at balancing myself. But I don't exactly see the point of doing headstands. Oh, dang. Like what? I guess there would be increased blood flow to your brain. I have been like on that meditation rock of mine. I've been taking like maybe a minute. Like today I literally took like a minute or 2 minutes max just to like lay completely upside down and to look at the landscape completely flipped. And looking at the flipped landscape, it's kind of surreal. It gives me allergies as well. It kind of makes my eyes water, and it gives me this almost the sensation of smelling blood. Maybe that's not a good sign. So I'm not doing it for extended periods of time, but I feel like that feeling will get intensified if I had to be upside down. So I'm not sure if I want to do that. Have you ever tried running? Sometimes my head is never cleaner than in the middle of a 5 to 10 mile run. I do dance, my friend. And I've reached pretty clear states of mind as well doing that, because it is like a little bit of a cardio / high intensity interval training type of environment. But running for me, like, I'm a little bit of a heavy set guy, if you will. I'm still a little bit chubby, not nearly as much as I was at the start of the year, fortunately, but like running, at least for me and my family, it's like a no-go. Like my uncle, and this is not me, it is me making excuses, like, I'm gonna be honest, but I'm not using it as an excuse for not exercising, because I still am trying to exercise. But my uncle has had like 4 or 6 knee surgeries in his life. He used to be a rugby player, so not exactly the same thing, but running, at least, you know, long distance running, 10-mile runs can be pretty good if you want to mess up your legs. At least for my type of body type. I'm a mesomorph? Endomorph? Endomorph. I think it's an endomorph. Endomorph is the blocky one, right? So yeah, for me personally, the running is a no-go. I'll do weightlifting and body weight exercises and dancing, but running wrecks me too much, my friend. That'll make your head stay grounded and not run so fast. I don't exactly know what you mean. Family is important. We should visit our parents at least once a week. Shh. That's a very strong statement to say, my friend. Because I'm very fortunate to be able to see my parents regularly right now. But the way that I want to live my life is going places and seeing places and touching lives, and I don't want to be in one place for too long, or at least I don't want to stagnate, if that makes any sense. And I feel like the reason I'm doing what it is I'm doing now is to really become comfortable in being not stagnant, but being still. That's the word. And the more I realize that I have this stillness within me, the more I realize how much I still want to experience outside of that stillness. And to have almost that stillness as the base of that experience. To be able to be still. Can you see the camera moving? To be able to be still in whatever environment it is I'm going into. And it's become a very important part of my life. And I look forward to being able to go places that will allow me to be still in the beauty of nature. And like, the thing is as well, with seeing my parents once a week, if I'm going to be traveling, or I'm going to be, you know, going into the mountains for, like, I want to go into the mountains for like months at a time. Like, that is something that I would love to do as well. It wouldn't be possible for me to go and visit my parents once a week. And I feel like we shouldn't beat ourselves up about that as well. Like, we have to live our own lives at the end of the day. We can't limit ourselves in our expression. Family is important. That's why I'm here. Every second I run a mile in about 5 minutes and 43 seconds. That's really impressive. Like, I'll be able to do it in maybe like 15. I did track all the way through high school 10 years ago. Were you good at it, Ryan? I'm kind of curious, my friend. I avoid smiling at all costs. My friend, I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope that you have a smile on your face right now, even though it's costing you so much. I smile so much, my face is starting to get smile wrinkle marks. I love to smile, way less energy to use. Exactly. It's much easier or energetically efficient for your face to smile than it is to be angry. And being angry is like pointless at the end of the day as well, because what are you angry at? Everything is self-created. The very person that you're angry at just didn't provide the very specific situation or condition that you wanted for you to love them. and that is an illusion. So love the person that's supposed to hurt you, or supposedly hurting you, just as much as you love yourself, my friend. And in realizing that, you can't help but smile. Are you drugs? No, my friend, I'm Meltmore. Hello, friend. Hello. Welcome, my friend. I truly want to move close to my parents, but the cost of living is so expensive where they are. You see, that is something that really bothers me as well, as how we have places that have higher cost of living, and it's literally because of the environment and the circumstances, and at the end of the day, because the government isn't on the ball. Like if they, and this is something we had a chat about, me and Dan, yesterday, if the ultra rich got taxed better and that taxation was being kept, or had accountability kept over it, man, we can save this planet like literally in 10 years. Like literally. Like there's like $800 billion of taxation money on the table from the ultra rich. If we spend $100 billion on renewable energies, just imagine the amount of jobs being created because of that, the amount of people that will be necessary to create that infrastructure, and the amount of carbon we'll save on our planet as a result of that. And yet we're not doing it. I know, Mother Earth, I'm angry as well. Can you hear her roar? You can hear her shake at least. Running on cement is very hard on your joints for everyone. Yeah, like especially if you're gonna run on like roads or like pavements. Like if you can, try and run on grass. Like that is at least, if you're going to be running, that is my recommendation. Like you can probably see the wind going wild as well, my friends. Yeah. If the stream drops, it's probably because of the weather. But I'm gonna be here for as long as I can be. Hadidas. Honestly, I'm not sure what exactly made her decide. What made her decide to make a change. It's something I've been encouraging for a long time. And the other day she came to me and told me she's ready. Wow. Goodness me, friends. Like, you know what I was saying about the wind? Like, I was like, oh, rain would be fine, but wind is going to be too much, and then it comes. It's like, oh yeah, I'll give you wind. So, okay, this is actually something that's coming back to me from yesterday's stream. So, God only says yes. No, it's not yesterday, the day before yesterday, right? God only says yes. So, in me saying, man, getting too much wind is going to be hectic, God is like, yeah, it is. Yeah, look. look at the word hectic wind. Man, it's really coming. It's shaking my entire camera. Goodness. I feel like I need to be holding on to it a little bit. I'm gonna be putting this bottle over it so it's a little bit more stable. Do you see it moving? I don't want it to blow over. The audio quality is probably atrocious as well right now. Running stuff on us husky boys, lol. It really is, Justin. It can wreck us, man. And again, Edmund. Oh! Look at this little piece of bark that came all the way to my glass of water. Thank you, piece of bark. I'm gonna get the little pieces of debris out. But now, technically, this glass of water has some of the genetic material of that tree inside of it. I want to like keep driving for my phone because it looks like it's going to topple over. Like things in the background. My father-in-law followed us to the beach here, and my husband is the only family. I don't know if he would follow, and he is in bad health as well. I really need to think this over. You definitely do, my friend. And I'm sending you so much strength and so much encouragement and so much love in that decision process. It definitely can't be an easy one, so I'm thinking about you. You know, like my mind is running places, because I'm like initially concerned about my plans, but becoming aware of that sensation, that concern, that feeling of like, oh no, why? Like that feeling of oh no is something that definitely permeates a lot of our fields of consciousness. It's definitely something that we all experience at some point in our life. And it can definitely be something that is limiting in our lives as well. If we're going to constantly live in that, oh no, what if, not that type of like, mindset and feeling, it's something that's going to completely ruin our experiences. Becoming more and more aware of my friends. She wants to start meditating and opening her mind and radiate positivity. That sounds like exactly what we're about. Maybe it was you, Edmund. Maybe you becoming more and more spiritually awakened and radiating positivity has encouraged her to do that. A rolling stone gathers no moss. Yes, there we go, my friend. But sometimes you want some moss, right? At least for a while. A large enough rolling stone kills people. Yeah, it would. To be still and the camera moves. Yeah, that is the irony of life, isn't it, actually, Ryan? Must have been all your positive vibes, Edmund. I think so as well, actually, Justin. I guess after so many years, that positive energy can be hard to ignore. Absolutely. And you shouldn't worry or feel ashamed to take some pride in that as well, Edmund. Well done, my friend. I get angry from my own self. Yeah, no one else can make you angry, my friend. Anger is something that's self-induced, something that is induced within ourselves, within our being, and then expressed into this world. Nothing in this world can make you angry. Only you can make you angry. And coming to that realization, accepting that realization, it's empowering, my friend. So empowering. Nothing can perturb you, nothing can disturb you, nothing can take away from the wholeness of your soul. And by knowing that intuitively and believing it as fact, it just gives us so much more control and so much more perspective on life as well. Unconditional love. Self-love is the first step to begin to love all. Yeah, you are loved. You are loved, my friend. Absolutely. If you have done something bad in life, do you feel like punishing yourself? Like if you feel really happy, you feel you don't deserve this because you did bad things? So that's a very good question, my friend. And like technically, if you really accept responsibility for everything, you kind of realize that there is no doing something bad. There is only you allowing yourself to experience a field of consciousness temporarily so that you may learn from that field of consciousness. And sometimes we continue to learn from that field of consciousness even after we stop participating in that field of consciousness, because those ripples have still been created and they are self-created. So we have to kind of come back into realizing that those ripples are the things that we chose to experience. So when you're in a happy state of being and you experience the ripples of the bad things that you've done, they're not bad. They're just ripples. They're just experiences that you invited into your field of consciousness and are now experiencing the result of that thing that you opened the door for, dropped a pebble in your ocean for, experience and invited into your life. So by becoming aware of that and by taking responsibility for that, you kind of allow yourself to be happy in the moments that you have happiness, and to not blame yourself, to judge yourself too much for the things that you've done in your past, because you realize that your present is what's most important. So you can learn from these things and then you can transcend them, you can move past them, you can come to a point where you realize that it's not as, all that as you kind of put it for yourself out at the end of that. Like, you are worthy, my friend. You are loved, and you are so important. Know that you are a divine, integral part of the whole. If you have done, I'm stupid because I get everything available from money to a supporting family, but I'm still sadly dead inside. I know that feeling, my friend. The wind is really going for it. It's still shaking the camera. I'm so sorry, my friends on YouTube, if you're watching right now. I know the audio sounds so hectic, but wind be wind. Yeah, like that is the one thing that I hope they figure out on microphones. How would they figure that out? Technically, a microphone is just a little membrane that vibrates as my audio signals permeate it. So as the audio signal flows over it, it like hits a 1 or a 0, and then that 1 or a 0 gets turned into binary information that makes up the sound of my voice. And then basically wind is just that, sound waves blowing over the microphone and rattling that little membrane. And it makes that static sound. Bothers me as well, friends. I know. I'm sorry. I love this guy. I love you, my friend, and thank you for the hugs, Amtram. I really do appreciate it, my friend. I've been holding on to this little piece of crystal, been running my fingers past it, feeling the textures of it, becoming aware of the sides of it that is smooth. Just really feeling it, actually. There's this practice where if you want to become a little bit more aware, you take just a little bit of time to stop and to look at things in your immediate environment, like as if for the first time. Like look at it like you're seeing it for the very first time. Like really scroll through every little detail of it. Start from the top and like let your eyes move like only a centimeter on the physical object at a time. Or even less than a centimeter if it's something small. And then let yourself look. Let yourself experience what it is you're feeling as you're looking at this thing. Again, as if for the first time. And as you allow yourself to do that, you kind of get this surreal sense of not knowing again. Because at the end of the day, we know nothing, right? Like this little piece of mineral that I'm holding is exponentially older than I am. Or at least its physical form is exponentially older than my physical form, my three-dimensional shape. So how much information has this little piece of mineral absorbed? How much has it experienced? How much has it been through to be in my hand right now? And you can look at anything in your entire vicinity with the exact same wonderance. Like a wooden chair, even a plastic chair. Imagine where it came from. Imagine the process that it went through to be where it is right now. This little piece I actually got from a mine, an old, like it wasn't the mine itself, but the Kimberley mine has this little crystal shop close to it. And me and my dad went to this lady's crystal shop, and she had big crystals, like chonker crystals. And they were ridiculously expensive. And I wanted them as well, because I like crystals, and big crystals even the more so. And my dad refused to get me any of them, and I was like, I understood, because they were expensive. And then I saw this little piece, and like the imperfection of it is actually the thing that really grabbed me, because it has like a little bit of clear up top here, and then it's like very cloudy in the center of it, and it has this tourmaline like little edge on the side that drew a part of this whole structure. And it's just absolutely beautiful. Just taking a second to look at things, I feel like either the comments stopped or it did the thing where it like bonked out on my stream again. Like it tells me that I'm streaming live, but in fact I'm streaming to the burbs, and it's not working at the moment. It might be the case. It might be the case. Do send a message in chat to let me know if it's not that way. I would love to know that I still have you friends here. But I do think that it ended. So I feel like maybe this is divine timing. Little feather just blew past me. I don't know why. But I feel like I want to show you. Or like this, right? Little feather. I love you, friends. I really do love you. I hope that you know that. And I hope that you know that there doesn't have to be a condition for that to be true. Nothing has to happen. Nothing has to stimulate me from the outside for that to be true. I love you unconditionally. And I'm trying to come to the realization of what that actually means. What it means to unconditionally love someone. And I hope to learn that lesson, my friend. And I hope to learn it with you. I'm sending you so much love and light, my friends. And I hope to see you again tomorrow.